Welcome to the Informed and Oblivious podcast. I'm Forever Alone Ray, and this is Can't Help Himself Phil.
And this is episode 18. Yeah, all right. I like that. We switched it up today because I couldn't think of a good intro. You know, it gets hard coming up with self-deprecating names every week.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
I couldn't come up with a topic, so I came up with the names. There we go.
Yeah. And because you couldn't come up with a topic, we're discussing this stuff today because it's a slow news week. Other than the whole Trump, Russia, Putin summit thing going on in Alaska.
Uh-huh.
So because of that, my YouTube video feed has been nonstop. I don't know why this week. Nothing but self-help YouTube videos and dating podcasts YouTube videos, and it's been driving me nuts on both ends of these things. So we're going to talk about that today because I've seen it come across the feed quite a bit.
I don't know if you included as self-help or not, but I get a lot of whatever podcast or that one black dude that's always just woman hating submit to your man, that guy.
Oh yeah, no, those are the dating podcasts.
Yeah, I got a lot of the dating
things.
Podcast stuff up right now.
I
don't know why.
Yeah. Both whatever, and you're probably thinking Fresh and Fit. That's that
sounds right.
Yeah. They're on one side of that coin, and this is the thing. I want to talk about it and delve into this in full because I'm not just on that whole side. I've been getting everything from feminist dating to the whole manosphere dating to conservative dating to hippie dating. I'm what is going on right now? And I don't know if it's from the previous week talking about the whole birth rate declining thing. So I've just been getting spammed with it because, every time we're doing this podcast, my phone is listening to all the shit we're saying. I'm oh, you're really interested in declining birth rates? Let's delve into why. No, let's not do that. I don't need every other video.
When I got that golf lesson the other day, the golf coach was have you seen those the things you clip on your grip to adjust your grip for you? I'm no, I don't know what you're talking about. And he goes, well, you see him now because our phones are listening.
Yeah. I know somebody is I think it's the T grip golf thing or whatever. The guy's I always see him spamming you put this in your hand and then you'll always grip the club the right way. And I'm yeah, all right, sure I will. The grip's not the problem. It's hitting the ball instead of the ground. That's the problem. But yeah, before we go into the dating hellscape, as always, folks, if you like what we do, give us a like, subscribe, follow, comment, do all the things that you do.
We need some engagement.
Yes, and we are now on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, and now newly TikTok.
Well, our behind the scenes and funny shorts and when we do jackassery stuff is going to be on TikTok. We can't put the whole episodes.
No, I know, but we're on TikTok. Let the folks engage and let them see it. Give us some love over there. Yeah. Comment. And, with all these things and the engagement, if you're listening to this, the current, past, future, whatever, leave a comment with something that you'd like to see us talk about in the future. Mm-hmm. I got a lot going on up in my brain, and I'd like to talk about different things, but it's hard some weeks to figure out what I want to talk about. But, yeah, no, dude, I'm just so sick and tired of, seeing these, self-help and dating things because it's really feeding into that, kind of the whole content of, how the media is, how, news is nothing but bad shit all the time.
Oh, yeah.
All of these things are just, constantly, we're all pieces of shit. Here's why, and you're not the problem, or you are the problem, and, here's how to fix it. And it's just all garbage advice, I think. We're sitting there talking about the declining birth rates and younger kids not dating and stuff like that, and I gotta imagine it's because we kind of lucked out in our life where we were the last generation before a real big social media presence. It was there a little bit.
MySpace and Facebook and AOL,
but not crazy, and before all the dating apps, because the dating apps are a horrible fucking thing. So we had that whole your dating pool was still localized to your area.
What year did Tinder come out?
That was way later. I think that was 2009. Go look that up, not Jamie. Ooh,
2012. Wow,
2012.
much later than I thought.
Yeah, the Mayan calendar predicted the end of the world, and it was Tinder.
That's actually the scientists or the paleontologists of the future are going to trace it back. Tinder was the fall of the planet.
Yeah, the fall of man was related to Tinder coming out. See, the Mayans were right. It just wasn't the apocalyptic catastrophe they thought it was going to be. But no, so like you have the dating apps, you have all the social media presence and whatnot, and I think they said for like the first time in a very long time, like young kids are like dating people outside of their school. They're dating people from other schools. They're dating people from other towns, like which is a phenomenon that has like never happened before because you used to
town
just
over
be
and shit sometimes. I dated a couple girls from Hamilton.
yeah, but that was like because of other activities you did. You know what I mean? Like other social circle things that you ran, not because you were like scrolling down Instagram. You're like, damn, she looks hot.
Yeah.
Like, and let me
Actually,
slide
I have
into
no
her
idea
DMs.
how our buddy ended up hanging out with us. I met him through and I don't know how the fuck he.
You're definitely gonna have. I'd mark that because there's no way that the mic didn't pick that up.
We'll see.
Yeah,
but I don't know how he ended up finding them as friends.
probably from playing shows.
No, it was well before then. It was when we were in high school.
Yeah. Well, and again, we don't have to go
middle
like
school. Actually, that was middle school.
we don't have to go too personal in our own dating lives, cause like
Yeah.
I'm indifferent to the whole thing anymore. I'm just like, fuck it. I'll be alone. I don't care. I'll be fine. It is what it is. But no, like the dating shit nowadays is so polarized on like one way or the other. Like it's and like you bring up the whatever and fresh and fit, and it's just nonstop. Women aren't shit, and like here's what you need to do to like be on your game. And then the other side is men ain't shit. You don't need no man. Here's how you live your best life. And then even on like the conservative side too, the conservative side is just like, yeah, we know there's a lot of problems with the law and you're going to get royally fucked over like by certain things, but here's why you should just like saddle yourself with somebody anyway. And it's just like I feel like all of it is bad advice and we've lost the plot of nobody's taught in relationships anymore how to be with somebody else and to move into this new modern like dating landscape because it's not how it used to be. It's completely different. I think we were the last generation, you know, growing up with the internet and whatnot. We got the last tail end of what things used to be / going into this modern thing and danced it a little bit, but not that much.
We looked people up on Facebook after meeting them, not before.
Yeah, but it's not only that. Like I'm sure, like you know too, because like everybody's like, oh yeah, it's doom and gloom. Nobody's getting together. There's no relationships. I think more often than not, people I know around our age are either in long-term relationships or married.
Yeah,
I'd say the majority of them are. But as you start looking younger, that starts to like drastically change. And I think it's because they've just been like taught to like go at each other's throats the whole time / nobody's caught up to this modern landscape of I don't want to say for better or worse. That's a horrible way of framing it. It's definitely for the better, but it's a thing that we haven't adjusted to yet. Is that for the most part, young women are outpacing young boys in like education and salary and whatnot. So like now, like the whole like wage gap thing that they talk about, which bullshit, whatever. It's a sum of hours, but now when they look at younger people, like younger women are out earning younger men. And so like now we're in a situation where if you want that traditional relationship, like it's probably not going to happen. Like where, you know, one person's making all the money for the whole family, taking care of the other person, and they're staying home and taking care of the household responsibilities. What I think the new like modern like dating relationship thing is more of like a partnership, but both sides have not really figured that one out yet and how to do that. And the problem is because like we still are like chasing traditional things, but we've moved into a more modern landscape. I really wish more podcasts would talk about like how do we resolve this issue and like what this difference is, because it like I know the whole like my partner thing was like started by the whole like being inclusive to like the LGBTQ thing. That's why we stopped being like, yeah, my wife or my girlfriend or my boyfriend or my husband. We started just being like my partner. That's where that like language came from, to be more inclusive of that whole thing. But I think it's kind of accurate because the modern like relationship is a partnership instead of like how it was before with like one person like dominating the whole thing. I think now with the expense of everything, if you want to have a family and kids and a house, you definitely need two incomes. And you both have to be okay with not just working but putting in like extra responsibilities like around the house because of that. And understanding that there could be different responsibilities. Because I hate all the stuff you see all the time of like, oh, well, they're not helping with chores around the house. Okay, well, do you have a house with a yard? Because, like, are they outside doing yard work? Because if they're outside doing yard work, you guys are splitting roles and responsibilities. Yeah. But if you're in an apartment and they're not helping you do the dishes, like, okay, fair. Like, that's fucked up, you know, if you're both bringing in the income. But I don't know. It just like listening to all these dating podcasts. It's just, like this past week. It's so sad, and it's so like I just hate all of it. I just hate the fact that there's like, yeah, you just need to do like X, Y, and Z, and like half of it is like, yeah, as a dude, you just got to be like an indifferent asshole and treat like women like shit. And like on the female side of like, yeah, you're the prize. You don't need to bring nothing to the table. Like you go, girl. You do whatever you want. And I'm like, that's not conducive for like a relationship and a partnership with people, because like everything now is just like get what you want. There's no compromise, and I don't see that working.
Yeah, a relationship requires at least some degree of like compromise and humility.
And it makes me sad because, like, you know, younger me definitely did want like a girlfriend or a wife or a family, whatever. And like as the years go on, you become more cynical to that thing, because I think like you know, men and women need to talk these things out more to really understand the differences. And I can't speak for women entirely, but like I don't understand what they go through, and they definitely don't understand what we go through with those things either. And I hate it how polarized these things are, because like if we talked and like hashed this out, people would understand it better. Because I was thinking about it today with this whole like lead up to this. You know how like women like really hate the fuck boy that's like sleeping around and seeing all this different women.
Stop fucking them then.
Yes, but women don't realize that the female equivalent of the fuck boy is the girl that has like a dozen male friends. Because like they're two different things that they want out of it. So like, you know, you got the male fuckboy where like, oh yeah, there's just sleeping with a bunch of different women, not committing to any of them because he's getting what he wants. He's getting like, you know, the hookup. And then the flip side of that is a woman who puts a whole bunch of men who would be good partners for her in the friend zone, because she's getting the resources, she's getting the validation, she's getting the emotional support that she wants, but without having to give up the sexual side. Yeah, and it's the same thing for the male fuckboy. He's doing like all of that, but without committing to any of them, giving them the resources and the commitment and the emotional support. But like things like that aren't discussed. They're just like, oh yeah, fuck that guy, fuck that girl, like don't get used, don't do this. And I'm like, if you're going into it like that, the opposite sex is the enemy from the jump, like how would you ever have a successful relationship?
Yeah.
You know, like you're basically like, oh yeah, let me cohabitate with the enemy right now and see how that works out for me.
You're supposed to care for the person opposite you in that relationship.
Yeah. It just like I don't know. It's depressing to see. And then the flip side of that too is like all the self-help shit too. Where it's like, oh, if you don't have like 10 houses and like fucking making $1 million by the time you're 30, like, are you even out there living? It's like, yeah, that's the majority of people. Yeah. Like, the fuck are you talking about right now? I hate that shit so much. Like all those things where they're like, oh, well, you need to do this. Like, if you want to get on your grind, you got to be up at 4 a.m., done like 10 different things, read like a book and a half, gone to the gym for 2 hours, and like get ready to answer all your work emails by 8 a.m., grind all the day through, and then like go to bed at 10 p.m. and start it over again. Don't be lazy. And I'm like, you're a psycho and you're not even doing that. Like the majority of those self-help people aren't doing any of that shit. Like, I really hate like and people take them seriously because they're like, oh, they're fit, they're in shape, they're on YouTube. But like, okay, what's their actual financial situation? Yeah, but what's their actual financial situation? You know what I mean? Like, I can make myself look very fucking good on the internet if I had to, but it doesn't mean I'm doing well. Like, what do you mean? Like, and people like follow it and it's like, oh, we got to get in the hustle. That whole hustle culture thing is just fucking drives me bonkers.
Yeah. If the majority of them were making the kind of money and living the kind of lifestyle that they were promoting, they wouldn't be fucking making videos about it. They'd be doing that shit. They wouldn't be taking time out of their day to fucking make a self-help video.
Yeah, and I get it. They're putting in work too, but like, let's be honest here. The majority of people that are making that kind of content online are not working the same amount of effort and the same amount of hours as people that work 9-to-5 jobs. You're just not.
Not in the same way.
No. You make your own time, you make your own hours, and you make your own schedule. And it's not to say that you don't work, because they do. Yeah. They have to be working to do that. But it's not the same kind of work at all. And to equate it and to be like, oh, well, you're just lazy. Be like, yeah, you motherfuckers need to work a 9-to-5 job, and then tell me that. You need a boss with deadlines and a bunch of like coworkers fighting you all the goddamn time. And then like, you know, oh, you're on a 40-hour-a-week schedule, but you put in 60 hours. And then tell me like how that is. Because even like, oh, well, they're like, oh, yeah, I put 60 to 80 hours of work in this week. Yeah, what? Recording yourself? Like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, like, we're doing this because we hope it takes off. But, like, dude, I would never describe this as work. What we're doing right now is not work.
Yeah, absolutely.
At all. This is, like I said last week, like, borderline my therapy session to a certain extent. And, like, you know, even if this, like, transitioned to a point where we got, like, famous and this was our full-time job, I would never, like, equate this to the amount of work. Yeah. Like, even if it's something...
if this became, like, our full-time gig and we could quit our jobs, that's what it would be. It would be quitting our jobs to go have fun and talking to a microphone for a living.
Yeah, even if it's, like, chasing down people to, like, come on this podcast and then, like, you know, have interesting conversations. Like, that amount of work is nothing compared to, like, actual work. And, like, that kind of, like, freedom that you would have. So, like, to sit there and, like, listen to these people. And they're like, oh, well, you shouldn't put certain things on credit card. I'm like, okay. Where are they getting the fucking money from? The fuck are you talking to me about right now? Like, the real conversation should be, why is the interest rate on credit cards 30%?
It's 30% now?
Depending on, like, the credit card. Like, I think like the majority of credit card interest rates are now like 24 to 26%.
Wow.
Which is fucking insane. And
then there's my car loan at fucking 8%.
Yeah, well, that's bad too. But your car loan makes sense because that's set by the federal like reserve like rates, and that's the thing. Like, I think credit card interest rates should fluctuate, but based off of money interest rates. Like, oh, okay, so you're loaning me the money so you can like payday loan me at fucking 24%. That's fucking insane and fucking criminal. And they just like they continue to make billions and billions of dollars a year on that shit. But like, no, we're not going to talk about that. It's because you didn't get up at 4 a.m. this morning and start getting on your grind. Like, fucking, as somebody that doesn't sleep a lot, I could tell you that like fucking having more hours in the day doesn't do shit for you. Like, and you're like, oh, well, you're just not productive. Even when it was more productive when I was younger, because to be honest, like, the older you get, the more jaded you get on that shit. And I was like, whatever, fuck it. But even when I was like gung-ho when I was younger, that shit doesn't do anything extra for you.
No. I mean, there were times where you were doing like 90-hour weeks for a bit.
Yes. Yeah. At our previous job, when they opened up the double time, and I was like literally in there from 5 a.m. to like 10 p.m. every day. I during that period of time, I was getting 3.5 hours of sleep.
I mean, I was with you for a good portion of it.
But it got rough. Yeah, it got rough. Remember? But
like, you don't have the output right now. You're too new. You can't do this anymore.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot that happened. But yeah, dude, I was getting 3.5 hours of sleep, and yeah, I made decent money that year. But then after all of that, they shut off the pipeline because they're like, "Oh, thanks for paying for all our expansions, and your reward is like no work." And it's like, cool, thanks. That's what busting my ass got me. But like, doing that, like, yes, you could get ahead a little bit, but you can't continue to operate that way. You're burning the candle at both ends. Eventually, like, you run out of steam. You could do it in your 20s, and if you're young, like, go for it. Like, work hard, do that shit, experience it once. But the older you get, you can't keep doing that shit. You can't. It's not sustainable in your 30s, 40s, 50s. There's no way that you can continue to just be like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking work 16-hour days.
Too much.
Yeah, it's insane. But I hate these people because they're like, oh, you need to be investing this, and like from the time that you're 20, you need to save all this money away, and it's like, for what? What are we doing here? Oh, well, if you're investing like, $200 a week and you just waste your entire youth and never have any fun and never experience life, by the time you're 65, you'll have like 10 million in the bank. Okay, cool. What am I going to do with it?
With 65, yeah.
Yeah, it's just fucking asinine advice. I'd rather tell people the opposite. Enjoy your youth while you can, and then realize that, like, okay, you're indebting your future self where, okay, you might have to work till you're 80 now.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is. And
or find a balance somewhere.
Maybe, but the problem is, like, the goalpost just keeps, like, moving so much further ahead that, like, even if you're doing all these investments, and you could look it up, but I think, like, the amount that you need to retire now in the U.S. is over $2 million you need saved.
Jesus.
Yeah. Like, go ahead and, like, do that, not Jamie. Tell me how much you need saved for retirement in the U.S. right now. Like, what's the recommended amount they say you need saved? Ooh, I don't know where you're typing, but I don't see it. Oh, there it goes. Why did it have how much is Amazon worth? Were you looking up stock?
I was not.
AI mode.
I'm not interested in AI mode, Google. Fuck off. You give me the AI answers up here anyway.
10 times your pre-retirement income?
I don't know. Yeah, that was not the answer we were searching for. There we go. All right. For example, if you make $100K by 67, you should have saved $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah. And to be realistic, if you want to like live till you're like 90 and survive, you probably need double that. So you need $2 million saved. Like, dude, your average person in the U.S. isn't gonna be able to do that. Even in like the middle class, like if you have a wife and kids and raising a family, there's no fucking way you're gonna retire that. We don't have pensions anymore, none of that shit. We all know by the time we're old, the millennials, the fucking the whole social security system is gonna be dried up. I think the estimate now is by 2035, it's just gonna be completely gone.
Cool.
Yeah. So like, why this advice of like, oh, you just gotta like not get Starbucks and like save? It's like, bitch, are you kidding me? They're like, don't go out and buy coffee when you can make coffee at home. Yeah, that extra $10 a week that I'm spending on coffee is not making or breaking my retirement here. Like, you're fucking insane. What's making or breaking my retirement is the fact that, like, again, thank God I got this house when I did.
Yeah.
Because there'd be no, like, this house today is worth fucking double what it is, and it is not worth double what it is. Like, if I went to go buy this house today, as is, it would be double at fucking, crazy. Like, at twice the interest rate that I locked it in for. And it's just like, it's not worth it.
No.
Like, dude, I wouldn't pay $500,000 for a new home. No, let alone a home that was built in the 50s. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? I don't
plan on buying a home ever.
No, and I don't blame you. But the problem is rent is creeping up so high, too. Yep. Dude, there's people, like, paying, like, what is it? I think it's, like, $1,800 to $2,000 a month right now in New Jersey for, like, a one-bedroom apartment.
Yeah, that's the average on the low side.
Yeah. For a not good area, not great apartment.
For a small, shitty apartment, that's about right.
Yeah, and I think when we graduated high school, I think it was like $1,600 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment. Mm. Like, so, like, they just keep raising the bar, and it's like something's got to give and something's got to break, but nobody ever talks about it. And I just hate it because, like, again, I'm very fucking black pilled. We know this. I'm doom and gloom all the way. But I hate that doom and gloom is nothing it's the only thing pumped into the youth and no solutions. Because that kind of like rage, like doom and gloom, clickbaity content, like gets so much views. Because you're like, well, it's not my fault. The world's just fucked. Or the world's not fucked, it's your fault. And it's like, there's a balance somewhere in there. It's a little bit you, it's a little bit the world, but like, what are we gonna do to fix it? And we've kind of forced ourselves into a living situation anyway. That's like how it used to be. We're now going back to like multi-generational homes, not because people want to be, but because of necessity. Although like it really was the boomers were the last generation that was like, the boomers came up with weird shit of like, you gotta be out of my house by 18. Like, if you're not in school, get the fuck out of my house. It's like, what the fuck? Why? Like, nobody was doing that to you. They were getting kicked out of their house at 18. They're like, yes.
People stayed at home until, like, well, after married.
Well, maybe.
So, I mean,
it all depends. But no, like, a lot of cultures around the world still, it is. Like, you live at home until you're married. Why would you leave? You know, you're supposed to live here. Here, it's fucking like, yeah, fuck you. I'm going to make your life as difficult as possible till you get out of my house. Okay, well, are you going to help me with any kind of like how? Nah, go fuck yourself. And meanwhile, while I force you out of my house, I'm going to buy 2 other houses that I'm going to rent to fucking people your age to good, like double fuck you. You're going to give me one of those houses? No. Why would I give you one of those houses? You're not my offspring or anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to me. Like, not everybody, but the amount of fucking boomers that have multiple homes and didn't give a single one of them to their kids to live in is wild. If I ever got to the point where like I was like that, where I had multiple properties and I had children, and they came of like that age where they want to move out, start a family, whatever, I'd be like, which one of the properties that I currently own do you want to live in? There you go. That's your house now. Have fun. Like, you're gonna have to pay the property taxes because unfortunately you still got to pay rent to the government no matter what the fuck you do now. But like, it blows my mind that like. We've come to a sentiment, it seems like, in this country where like parents hate their offspring. And not everybody. I understand it's not the case across the board. But it's like it's almost like we incentivize like parents to be resentful of their children. And I don't know why that is or like where that came from. And maybe it's not with the younger generations. I don't know. I don't have enough people with like teenage like kids that I know to be like, do your kids hate your guts? Do you hate their guts? Like, are you trying to get them out of the house as quickly as possible? I just don't know where that like came from. Because it legitimately used to be like you would have parents, grandparents, and the children all living in the same house, and they would take care of each other. And like it you know, it'd be like, okay, you married into another family, you go to live with that family now, but like we're all like cool with each other still. We see each other all the time. Now it's just like, get the fuck out of my house and I never want to see you again. Until I get old enough to like be like, well, maybe I want to spend more time with you before I die. And it's like, what the fuck?
Luckily that wasn't my experience.
No, I know it's not everybody, but like it's a large enough portion where it's just like, where did we get like this situation from where we chase people out of homes? Like, get the fuck out of my house. I don't want to see you anymore. I know I birthed you and I just raised you for 18 years, but fuck you and fuck off. You know, again, if your kid's a little shit, I completely understand. Like, you know, you can't help that all the time. Some people have demon childs, but like if your kid's a normal person trying to survive in the world. Like, if I had a kid, I'd be like, dude, you want to live here until you're 30? And like, because you can't afford to go anywhere else. You want to save up money. You want to experience life? Go for it. I don't care. I'm set. I'm old now. Do you? I always like a place here. But now
it's becoming more common again, right?
To a certain extent. It seems like a lot of Gen Zs are like living at home.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Gen Z's parents are traditionally Gen X, and the Gen Xers were like the fuck around to find out generation, you know? So like for them to be like, yeah, you could just chill at home right now, like fuck it, who cares? It's kind of weird, but a lot of them is just they can't afford to move out with the college debt that they had. And that's just their parents like not letting them know like, hey, maybe don't get $200K in college debt right now. Like maybe that's not the move for you. Maybe go to community college for 2 years and then go away to 4 year school. Or like, dude, it's becoming increasingly common now because like I told you about the Western Governors University that like one of our friends like went to, where it's like pay as you go college. That's becoming like a new common theme now, where it's like you pay like yearly this amount and like do college at your own pace,
Oh,
like installment program things, because it's become such an issue to get like degree programs that it's not worth like that amount of debt to then come out of college and get a $15 an hour job.
uh-huh.
Like, dude, like if you try to do that same thing, but for like a home loan, and you're like, yeah, I want to get a $200,000 loan, but I only make $15 an hour, they'd be like, denied.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But for that, like, it's allowed, and people don't even understand. I saw like one a video recently of a girl crying because she got a student loan with a 17% interest rate. She's like, I've been making the payments, and now I owe more than when I originally got the loan, which means for sure during the whole COVID freeze thing, she didn't pay the loan at all. Because there's no way, like, even with that, like, interest rate, you have to make minimum payments that pay down your loan. That's how that works. Even with your credit card, that's how it works. Your minimum payment will always pay down the balance of your loan. So for her to owe more means that when it froze, nobody advised her to be like, yeah, if you could pay it, keep paying it, you dumb bitch.
Yeah, I mean, nobody. That's what she's saying. Nobody advised her of anything.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the problem. In your like senior year or junior year of public school, or fucking private school, whatever. It should be a mandatory course to take like some like banking and loan and like like here's what's gonna happen with your fucking finances in the future shit. It should be required, and it's just not taught anywhere, required or not.
Yeah, or the student counselors are always like, well, what college are you going to go to? Part of that sit down should be, what degree program are you going to go into?
What are you gonna do with it?
Yeah, and like, let's look at the loan amount that you want to take, and let's look at the fucking salary of an intro position into your field. Ooh, you want to go to school for culinary arts? Don't fucking go to 4 year school. Go to the community college, take a cooking class, and then go fucking cook. Don't go and put yourself $200,000 in debt, because unless you're Gordon Ramsay, you ain't making that shit back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we talking about right now? Ooh, you want to get an art history degree? Probably not good investment. Probably not good investment. You want to get an electrical engineering degree? All right. Where? Which college? Oh, that college, that much? Probably not right. Probably not gonna fit. Because like even with that shit, like, oh yeah, okay, you went to MIT.
You got in, but what were your grades?
But not only that, like you get the degree and it's like, okay, well, what do you want to do with it? Oh, you want to go into this field? Well, going there doesn't make sense. Go here instead. But they don't teach you that shit because it's all pipelined to the same system of just keeping you a debt slave for the rest of your life.
I mean, I don't know if that pipes all the way down to public high schools, but
well, no, because they're part of the same system, and nobody taught them any different. Like, what do you again? Maturing is realizing that the people that go off to school to become teachers are the exact people that you're like, they shouldn't become teachers. Like, it's not the captains of industry teaching stuff in schools. It's the people that are like, you know what? I'm gonna go teach. And some people have a calling to teaching, don't get me wrong, but the majority of them are like, well, I don't know what else to do with my life, so let me go back and teach school again. And then they're like, well, I'm in constant debt. I got to work a second job over the summer. And, like, you know what I should definitely do? Tell all of my students to go on to a 4-year degree program that puts them in the exact same position that I'm in. Like, I just don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a whole, like, topic for another day, though.
Like I said, that should be required learning for students.
Yeah, well, it's not because they want you to take the loan.
Again, I don't think the college loan system has any bearing on courses in public high schools, or at least I would hope not.
Kind of, because, well, it's changed a little bit at least recently. But the people that set the curriculum curriculum. I can't speak right now.
Curriculum.
Yeah, for the public education system are educators or professional people that have a direct incentive to do those things. Just like people don't realize the FDA is funded by the fines on the pharma companies. And guess what? You know what's the quickest way to get on a pharma company board? Be on the FDA. The pipeline from FDA to pharma board like member is like crazy. And the fact that that's not illegal is just insane. But it's like, okay, so, we get funded by the fines on the drug companies. So what incentive do you have to sit there and like properly monitor them? Because you let them go wild and they say, guys, you didn't do what we told you to do. We're going to have to find you. And now we're going to get the money to fund us for another year. It's the same thing with the fucking education system. Why educate you properly to understand these things when it's a multi-billion-dollar industry for higher education?
Yeah.
People.
Again, I would hope that those are separate, but
Anytime there's money involved,
Yeah.
It's not. People have equated like schools to being like hedge funds with a school. Like it's fucking insane. But they want to keep you in the dark all the time. That's why we never change these things.
I'm
We
afraid of the
fight
dark.
each other.
Don't turn out the lights.
But yeah, back to the dating stuff, man. I just wish people would talk to each other more and we figure out this whole modern dating thing, because there is a
Well, I mean, I think at this point, like, carbon dating is pretty standard. Agreed
Okay.
upon that it works.
Don't get me started on that. Don't make me go down that rabbit hole. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But no. Like it is getting more pronounced with the younger generation, and especially because there's like a article I saw come out lately that like Gen Z and to a certain extent Gen Alpha, because Gen Alpha is still pretty young, but both of them are tending to date. The women are tending to date older guys, and but like substantially like older in a way that's like getting like weird, and it's just because like again, I think that the gap in confidence and approach is there, where because dude, if I was gonna get blasted all over social media like what happens today, when we were in high school, I would have never approached anyone ever.
Yeah.
I would have just been like, you know what? I'm going to stay at home, play video games, stay in my lane, and not worth it. Because, like, some of this shit is like, dude, they blast people for a normal approach. And, again, with the talking to people, I don't think women understand how awkward it is as a guy to come up to you and be like, hey, I think you're cute. Let me talk to you and find out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And did I send... I don't think I sent you that video. I saw, like, a little YouTube short came up today, like, of like
No,
the
you sent me that. Yeah.
the modern conversation
Yeah.
between like men and women dating, and like the guy goes and approaches, so like, yeah, I think you're cute. Oh, well, do we have anything we have in common? Yeah, maybe. Well, how about okay, and then he walks away. He's like, I don't think it went well. She's like, oh, she's so amazing. We make a perfect couple together, and then they're like, yeah, we're just gonna leave. Like, oh,
What a jerk.
yeah, all the guys suck. It's like, but that's where it is, because we don't understand. Because we all have different like aspects. Like, I don't think women understand how little a man gets complimented in his daily life. Like, I was thinking about it with the talking about this today. It made me think about I got that new like hard shell suitcase. And the one time, like, coming out of the airport, this, like, lady, like, working at the airport, she's like, oh, it's a really nice suitcase. I thought about that for, like, a month.
Yeah.
I was like,
Think about
sweet.
shit for a very long time.
Yeah. But the flip side is, like, women are complimented bombed so much that, like, the one guy that's, like, a douche or, like, indifferent, like, stands out, like, well, why did that guy like me? Everybody else likes me. And I think we just don't understand that. And, sometimes people are seeing it with like the speed dating thing, but like they're like, oh, it's just rejection. Like, how bad I don't think like women understand like how bad that hurts to just like constantly get rejected, where you're like over and over again, and you're just like, God damn. Am I just like a piece of shit human being?
Like, I was like, my sister was telling me to get out there, get on dating apps and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting on dating apps. She's like, why not? And then I explained to her the one time that like I used up all of my swipes on Tinder like for like 3 days straight without a match, and she's like, yeah, but how many? Like, no, none, no.
Yeah.
I could not swipe anymore. It would not let me. Did not get any matches. She's like, oh, like yeah.
Yeah. And if you do, they're like those bots. And that was the thing that I still laugh about. And it's like I haven't gone back to it since then. But I still laugh that I got banned off of there because I complained about that, and because I complained that it's just like I matched with somebody who was a real person. I was like, yeah, it fucking sucks. It's like nothing but bots asking you to like pay their like Venmo or Cash App or whatnot, and because I use words that it filters for to block, it banned me. And then I tried to appeal it, and they're like, yeah, no, you're just banned. And I'm like, well, that sucks. Because dude, it was even worse. I'll admit it. Back then, I paid for it. I got the paid version, and trust me, you can run out of people to swipe in your area. And I don't think women understand that like dudes on that app eventually get to the point where you don't swipe left on anybody. It's just swipe right on everyone and hope that like one of them matches. And then you get a match and you find out it's just a bot, and you're like, sweet, awesome.
Did you see it may have just been like like screenshots with like the music background or whatever. It was like they immediately matched, and the guy, the first thing he said was "say potato," and then the response was just like nothing to do with that, and then "say potato" in all caps. Again, just completely ignored. Went on asking questions. "Say potato!" Exclamation!
You're like, yeah, you're a bot. But and it's bad with the whole rejection approach thing, because like what Bumble was like the flip side of that, right? Where like women were the ones to like message first or whatever.
Yeah. Women have to message first on Bumble.
Yeah, and they try to like change something up with that, but they like sampled it, and like the majority of like first message responses from women on Bumble
hey.
It was just hey.
Yeah. Yep.
So
yeah. Say something more than hey. Really, that's all you've got for your first message is hey, and then when flipped, it's all hey.
Yeah. It's just it becomes like just demoralizing.
That's all they need.
Yeah, but it becomes demoralizing to like everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they're like everybody's like meeting online now, and I'm like, yeah, through like Instagram DMs probably, but it's just like. I don't know. I don't know what we do to like bring this back where we catch things up to the way that like the dynamics are between the sexes now. I don't know. But again, I'm tired of seeing these dating podcasts where they're just like, yeah, you got to do this, you got to do that. Everybody sucks. And I'm like, aren't we all just people at the end of the day? Can we get along and like figure this shit out together? Like, maybe talk things out, like figure out like, okay, what do we all want out of this situation, and what's the best outcome? I even seen somebody talk about where like marriage shouldn't be for life anymore and should be like fucking set contract terms. And I'm like, God damn, is that like where we're at? And I'm like, it kind of makes sense at the same time.
In 10 years.
Yeah, it's like a subscription. Be like, yeah, we're gonna sign up for the 5-year plan, and in 5 years we'll see if we want to renew the contract. Like, is that where we're at now?
To a point, that's not a terrible idea.
I know, but it's so depressing to think about. You know what I mean? You're like, yeah, we'll see where this one goes in 5 years. It's like, God damn. It's even like, did you ever watch the series on Amazon Prime, Upload?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, dude, we're 100% headed for that future where, remember, they like fucking the chick sleeps with the guy, and then they like rate each other afterwards like it's an Uber ride. They're like, this is where we're like headed towards. Like, you're giving star ratings on people, like. And they had like the whole like consent contract before they did anything too, and I'm like, oh my God.
That was a good show.
Yeah, and again, consent's important, people. I'm not gonna say it's not. That's not what I'm getting at here. But it got to the point where like you had to be like, here's my full consent contract and everything I'm okay with doing and not doing. which is just wild. Like they laid out like, oh yeah, kissing cool, like this cool, that cool, and then like after that like not cool, and it's like, what the fuck? And then like they're yeah, we're gonna give each other both 5 stars, and then what? He gave her like a 3-star or something. Like what the fuck? Translate? What are you translating?
You'll see. It'll be funny. Okay.
Du hast. Japanese? Okay. What are we translating from Japanese?
Go away.
The little X on it, you dummy. There's a little X.
There's a little X. I didn't see the little X.
Convict? We're translating convict?
What?
Haha. You should put it on the English side, you dummy.
No. I'm trying to translate it from Japanese to English. Yeah.
Yeah, it just looks like you're doing shitty fucking Spanish in both Japanese and English. Consento. Japanese consento. Japanese, I agree.
Damn it.
An electrical outlet or socket?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I forgot what it was, but it came up recently in my Duolingo. Consento is an electrical outlet. And I'm like, what? How?
Wasi Diego. Term, it does not mean consent as it does in English. Instead, it refers to an electrical outlet or socket. The term has its roots in the English phrase concentric plug. Oh, okay. Huh?
But yeah,
that makes sense. Consenting to the like, plug into the outlet.
I'm like, consent, okay, and outlet. What? Yeah, because in Japanese, like they write their words differently. So like words that like aren't native Japanese that come from like mostly English but other languages, they write it in katakana instead of hiragana. And so like when I saw it, I knew it wasn't a Japanese word. It was translated into it. So I'm like, oh yeah, it must mean it says consent. It must be consent. No, it was outlet. I'm so fucking confused.
It gets weird with stuff that's like more modern. So like anything we invented in like the 20th century or whatnot, like doesn't have like good roots. Like I'd run into Italian all the time. You know what app is in Italian?
What?
Applicazione. It's like, yeah, okay. That's not Italian. You know it's not Italian. And it's just like website is sito. I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, that's website for sure.
Yeah, Japanese, they just, I mean, they just pull it over. I mean, English does the same thing with a lot of languages. Japanese doesn't have that same like, oh yeah, it's not Italian sort of thing because like it's just such a different language that like to port an English word into Japanese, you have to change it significantly, otherwise like it can't be pronounced or written properly. Yeah. So that's why they do that. Like smartphone in Japanese is sumaho.
But yeah, I think we're like just headed for this like horrible transactional future that like people just like they stay alone, they stay like lonely, and then they're just like, yeah, let's like hook up every once in a while. And it's just like, ugh, it just feels so bad. And again, I hate it because like there's the two sides of that coin too, where they're like, dudes are like, oh yeah, you're just like ran through, and then the women on the other side are like, no, you gotta be liberated and just do whatever you want. And I'm like, does it just feel bad from like both sides? Like what are you talking about right now? I'd feel like so like I'm not one of those guys, but if I ever got to be one of those guys where you could just like sleep with like whoever you wanted to, I feel like it would just feel so empty after a while. And like the reverse is also got to be true. Like when like on that whatever podcast, when they have girls on there that have like slept with like 300 plus like guys, I'm like, you essentially slept with your high school class. Like if you like put that number in like comparison, I'm like, you're like, God damn, like, do you just like look back and be like, man, this feels fucked up, like from both sides. Like I wouldn't want that. Like I just like I'd be like, ugh. Like if I was a dude and like I like had I am a dude, but like if I had like people chasing after me all the time, I'd just be like, do they even like care about me? You know what I mean? People are like, oh
yeah, I mean that's a thing that the like rich dudes have to do. too.
Yeah, I know. Like,
Yeah.
are they there for me or are they
Yeah.
there for my money? But like the fact that like all that stuff's got to be in the back of your head all the time, it's just like no wonder people don't stay together because everybody's just constantly like, well, why are they even here?
Hmm.
I don't know, man. It's just sad.
It occurred to me that I think probably more than at least half of the women I've dated have like initially they came on to me.
It's because you're 6 foot, dude.
No, I don't mean it like that. I just mean like you're talking, the shift in dynamics.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
if you can't pick up hints, because that's the problem is like men, both men and women look for the opposite sex like what they want, but they become that person that they want. So like there's a saying that like women become the men that they want, so like they get very successful, they have a career, they have all this stuff, and they don't understand that like men that have that are like, yeah,
You don't
I
need to
don't
have that.
care,
Yeah.
like I don't need you to have that. And guys do the same thing where like they're super nice, they're super friendly, they're super all these things to like a girl because like that's what they want them to do to them, and they're just like, yeah, I don't care about that, I don't need you to do those things for me. And like because again we don't like conversate, like people don't realize that like that like you're basically projecting what you want from a partner, but that's not what a partner wants from you. And like it's just like creates like confusing like things. So you're like, oh, I really want a girl to be nice to me, so like I'll be nice to them, and then if they're nice to me they must like actually really like me, but it's like no, they're just being nice. And the same thing like with a girl, like, oh yeah, well, like I want a guy who's really successful, so I'll become really successful, and then a successful guy is just like, yeah, I don't care about that. You're just like, what do you mean you don't care? I did all these things, like,
I'm already successful. I
yeah,
don't
like
need you
it
to be.
doesn't matter to me, like, yeah, it's just like it's such a weird dynamic. Again, I wish like everybody could talk about it more freely to figure these things out.
Hmm.
I don't know how they did it in the past, man. They just lied all the time.
Yeah,
I'm an
probably.
astronaut.
Yeah. You couldn't just go
You
look
can't
somebody up on
Google
your
it,
phone.
dude.
Yeah. Wait till he goes to the bathroom and fact check what he fucking said.
Yeah, I'm an Olympic medal winner. Are you really? Yeah, totally. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. I don't know. Uh, it's just it's sad. Hurts my soul. And all these things for the most part, they're like paying people to be on there too.
Yeah.
Whatever podcast has now like come out, like they pay them to be on there. Like the whole like, oh well, I've owned this guy thing is like also like very sponsored, or it's just like uh horrible things to begin with. Like so you got the whatever podcast where he's just like owning like women that he's forcing to be there because like they don't get paid unless they're there the whole time. But then you also have women that like guys are just coming up and hitting on them and they're not interested. But because they're not interested and they're offended, they record it and then put it online, which is also
That
like
happened.
terrible.
Yep.
It's like, dude, if a guy comes and approaches you and you're not into him, don't blast him online. You know, you can not be interested, but don't like, just I would take it as a compliment. Like if a girl I wasn't interested in came in like over and like hit on me, I'd be like, I'm flattered, but I'm not interested. I wouldn't be like, oh, I gotta like record this right now and put her on blast because how dare this troll think that she can come up to me right now and hit on me? And it's like, no, objectively, it's like when you see a good like piece of art, they're saying like, I think you're a beautiful person and I'd like to pursue something with you. You might not agree, but like it's just like I hate this like whole
Just say
putting
no,
everybody
thank you.
on blast. Yeah. I don't
I
know.
don't know if it was staged or not, probably, but it's funny. You seen the clip of in the gym? Guy walks up. I have a boyfriend, and he's like, "Yeah, me too. Whatever." You got a tampon sticking out of the back of your shorts?
Yeah, maybe.
It's fucking funny.
Yeah, the whole thing. I have a boyfriend. Yeah, your coffee cup's on the top of your car right now.
Uh-huh.
Oh, whoops.
Okay, bye.
Well, and you saw that thing recently in the UK, right, with the undercover cops.
Nah.
Oh my
What
god,
happened
it's
now?
so bad. The UK is just a different hellscape. but it's kind of in line with the dating thing. The UK has become so dystopian now that they sent two female undercover cops, had them jog down the street, and if dudes like catcalled them or like honked their horn at them, whatever, they had undercover police officers pull the people over and issue them citations.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where we're at right now. And it's just like I can't believe it. I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't be like harassing random people on the street of any gender, but like that's where we're at right now. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna do that while there's literal grooming gangs being like going on in that country. I'm just like, we've lost the plot entirely. We've gotten too comfortable as a society, and we don't know what to do with ourselves.
If you're in a bar in the UK and you talk to somebody who's sitting next to you and you're having a few minutes of conversation, and then you ask her if she wants to hang out sometime and she says no, can you be offended and call the cops on her?
No, but she can call the cops on you. We're in crazy times, man. I don't know what to do. And again, I'm glad we grew up when we grew up, because like you could do these awkward things and have these awkward interactions where it wouldn't be blasted across the internet.
Yep.
Yeah, it might be blasted across your school, but like whatever, you can recover for that. When you graduate, they're gone. Who cares? You're moving on with your life. But like, I couldn't even imagine nowadays. You go to like approach somebody, like ask them out, do that cringy shit. Like I was a fucking idiot back in the day too. You know, do that stupid shit of like, oh, let me get you flowers and blah blah blah. So cringe. And imagine like nowadays, like I'd do that, go viral, blast it all over the country, and I'd just be like, I don't lie to myself. Not like anyone cares. So like, we gotta have more people listen to us talk to the ether for that one.
Anybody out there?
Can anyone hear me? I don't know. But yeah, maybe next week will be a more newsworthy week. But again, I just like all of it coming across my feed, and I'm just like cringing at everything, like a bad rom-com. I'm like, God damn! Like people aren't that sinister. Like your average person isn't that spiteful, but it's just the extremes on both ends. Like you get the promiscuous women and the fuck boys. And fucking, like, that's all you get blasted on the internet. And then everybody, especially young, impressionable people, think, like, oh, that's all women are and that's all men are. And it's just like, no. Most people are just average people trying to live their lives.
Most people just aren't on the internet.
Yeah, but most people are just trying to find somebody to be happy with and spend their life with and have somebody that, like, okay, we enjoy being around each other.
But those people don't film themselves 24/7 and put them on YouTube.
This is true. There was a great conservative trad woman like crash out on the internet recently.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw that one.
I did not.
Oh my god, I loved it. It was great. The girls were going back and forth on it, and it was just like a great cat fight. But basically, like trad like e-girl like posted like a picture of her like engagement ring in a field of flowers, and was like, I won. It was like, okay, she got engaged, whatever. And then they started catfighting on the thing, like, oh, well, yeah, you wouldn't do this, you wouldn't do that, the other thing, and like then it started like going into like really like wicked shit, where like, oh yeah, well you got like finger blasted at a conservative event, like, oh yeah, it's easy for you to talk shit, you date black guys and shit, and we're like, what the fuck? The crash out was wild, dude. But that's how all this shit is. Like, everybody's like just playing pretend online. Like, oh yeah, I'm super into this thing. And then the true colors come out as soon as somebody like posts anything. But it was just like wild, this crash out that happened. I was just like, what the fuck is going on right now, dude? I don't know.
Infighting.
Yeah. Let's start the whatever podcast 2.0. We'll pay people to come on here. Who would come talk to us?
No one in their right mind.
What about their left mind?
I've never been more proud of one of your jokes.
That's the state where we're at right now. I'm fried. I've been ranting this whole time. I've been making no sense. I haven't taught anybody anything about dating whatsoever. I'm just venting again.
Nobody expected you to.
This is true. We need something more fun next time. We got to talk about, like, not the downfall of video games like we did last time. We got to talk about something fun next time.
The band?
No, remember the last subject you talked that we had you pick? You talk about video games and something like. We're gonna talk about something fun.
Okay.
Next time we'll talk about something fun.
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
Like
even
clowns.
Even if we talk about golf for an hour next time, you know, something a little bit more lighthearted for the folks at home.
Okay.
But as always, folks, if you like what we do and you made it to the end of this craziness and our rambling and nonsensicalness,
like and subscribe. Leave a comment.
Yeah, follow.
Hit that bell.
Yeah,
as they say.
Hit that noti bell. Get the notifications for whenever we post. And you can find us on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify. And
now TikTok.
The shorts on TikTok.
Uh-huh.
It's a good time. I'm a little sauced. He's a little stoned. And we're going to go eat food and play video games.
Oh, yeah. Have a good night, y'all.
See ya.